Shalom. This week's Sedra Shemos. People aren't born perfect. They are a work, hopefully, in progress. The Vilna Gaon's well-known teaching that people's main task in this world is to improve their character speaks to the nature of people to advance themselves. The need to improve oneself applies to the righteous scholar just as much as it applies to the average Joe. The lesson is brought home in this week's Torah portion. Moshe experienced prophecy for the very first time at the burning bush. The Torah reads, Moshe, tending to the flock of his father-in-law Yitro, the priest of Midian, drove the flock into the wilderness and came to Chorev, the mountain of God. A messenger of God appeared to him in a blazing fire out of a bush. He gazed, and there was a bush, all aflame, yet the bush was not consumed. Moshe said, I must turn aside to look at this marvelous sight. Why doesn't the bush burn up? Rambam wrote that Moshe wasn't created like all the other people. He was made by God to be a unique individual. Rambam wrote, because of God's love for the Jewish people and to uphold the oath he made to Avraham, our patriarch, he made Moshe, our teacher, the master of all prophets, and sent him to redeem the Jews. After Moshe, our teacher, prophesied, and God chose Israel as his inheritance, he crowned them with the mitzvot and informed them of the path to serve him, teaching them the judgment prescribed for idol worshippers and all those who stray after it. If God made Moshe, did Moshe have to improve himself, or was he born perfect? Rambam described the different levels of prophecy. He said that prophecy is bestowed only upon a very wise sage of a strong character, who is never overcome by his natural inclinations in any regard. Instead, with his mind, he overcomes his natural inclinations at all times. He must also possess a very broad and accurate mental capacity. There are a number of levels among prophets. Just as with regard to wisdom, one sage is greater than his colleague, so too, with regard to prophecy, one prophet is greater than another. What's the difference between Moshe's prophecy and that of all other prophets? Divine insight is bestowed upon all the other prophets in a dream or a vision. But Moshe, our teacher, would prophesy while standing awake. Sforno wrote that Moshe had to improve as well. He said that the level of Moshe's prophecy at the time of the bush was not yet the level it would be later on. The very fact that the Torah describes Moshe as being even afraid to look at the spectacle before his eyes is proof of Moshe's lower level of prophecy. But from the day the Torah was given, God extended the power of Moshe's prophetic visions, and only Moshe was able to retain the level of prophecy which the entire nation experienced during the revelation at Mount Sinai. Moshe's level of prophecy from that time on remained on the level of known as panim el panim, face to face, not direct. God told Miriam that Moshe is spoken to not through riddles but visions. Anyone can be a tzaddik like Moshe is a well-known teaching in the Rambam. What does it take to be as righteous as Moshe? If a person works day by day, getting better each day, they might never reach the level of Moshe. But just as Moshe improved from the time he first experienced prophecy at the burning bush to his position at Mount Sinai, the person who improves day by day advances their own position as well. What a powerful lesson for all of us. Shabbat Shalom.